Big. Abrams has received a bunch of nerfs, which makes him notably weaker in the early game.
Blue.
But I don't think he's super high prio right now, especially with the addition of Calico.
Abrams is at the moment anyway.
Stop playing Abrams. I'm sick and fucking tired of landing against this big blue
Man. Alright, so you've played Abrams a couple times. You got a handle on his spells, maybe missed a few slam dunks. Time to take the big blue man to another level. I'm going to talk about two things. Your general game plan on Abrams, and also the key items that you should be taking advantage of to seal the deal with the punchy boy. This isn't a build guide, but rather a bit of a blueprint you can use to always make sure you're having impact. We'll start with your game plan. Abrams is blessed with his fast bullet velocity shotgun. You should have a decent advantage on securing and denying souls in lane. This combines nicely with an easy to land stun and built-in sustain. Immediately off the zipline, you should be looking to hit a charge timing at 400 souls, as you can surprise enemies by landing a quick charge as soon as the second wave of minions. If you can communicate this to your lane partner, you can easily get a free kill by charging into a double heavy melee. After this timing, you should be looking to gank surrounding lanes by using items like extra stamina or sprint boots to surprise pushed up enemies with your CC abilities and potent burst. Your next power spike is your third upgrade of shoulder charge at around 7 to 9k souls. This means after you charge someone, your shotgun's going to do a chunk more damage. At this point in the game, you should be able to easily 2 or 3 shot people with insane gun damage. Getting this ability upgrade combined with a 3k gun item can easily lead to early kill streaks and momentum as you roam from lane to lane, killing people around the 10-minute mark. The 10-minute spike is an important one because there's something else that starts happening on the map at 10 minutes. Take advantage of this spike in kills by doing an early earn run to turn around the losing game or to get ahead. From this winning position, you can easily lead to a snowball that ends the game early as you continue to shoot harder and tank harder than the enemy team. Moving into the mid game and 20 minutes, you should transition your buys towards a more tanky, supportive playstyle. You're not trying to be the highest damage dealer in the game. Abrams is very much in the front, and as such, you're going to be the prime target and a prime user of disabling items, such as slowing Hex, Decay, Knockdown, Curse. Disrupting your opponents will be super important at this point in the game. Be patient with your stuns, and think about when it's your role to interrupt key abilities your opponents use. I'm talking about spells such as Dynamo ult with your ult with the third upgrade, or Haze ult with charge. You're going to be limited by your shotgun range, so play to the strengths of Abrams, barging into his fight with his ult, shutting down the fight with a 1-2 combo of CC. Once you're close, you can cap it off with the gun. To summarize the Abrams game plan, you're aiming to be a big tanky boy. Aim to shut down the enemy carry and absorb aggro for your team. If you're playing Abrams from behind, your aim should be to form gank squads with 1 to 2 teammates and aim to burst people farming. Your charge and ultimate can be used from silent crouch, setting up your team with double stuns. Abrams is quite good at escaping death when behind as well, as he can charge, ult, or heavy melee cancel to escape enemies to avoid being put further behind. I want to highlight some objectives that Abrams is particularly good and particularly bad at. It's just like Deadlock. First off, mid-boss and earn fights and steals. Abrams is very capable in disrupting large team fights with his ultimate. With the free Unstoppable on level 3, it also becomes a really powerful tool in stealing Earn or Mid-Boss Crystal, by stunning and then securing the objective. Make sure you parry while Unstoppable. Even though you won't get stunned, you can still be parried by enemies, which is going to stop your melee and your epic Rejuvenator steal. Next objective that Abrams is really good at is defending walkers and base. There's heaps of spots you can hide in as Abrams to charge unsuspecting enemies into the objectives, such as the high up ledge on the left side walker, or the edge of the map on the right side walker. You can simply stay crouched and hidden and jump scare people by charging them in. For the end game base fights, Abrams can make use of his ult on groups to single-handedly turn a team fight, thus enabling more aggressive strategies, such as staying after knocking the enemy patron. Now, for something he's bad at, splitting walkers. Abrams' gun damage heavily relies on being up close and hitting the charge damage bonus to amp his gun. Getting close to the walker means getting stomped, which really slows things down. Let someone else on your team better suited split the walkers. Let's talk about a few items that the blue man likes to grab. Real quick, if you're enjoying this video and you want to see more, the best way to support the channel is to subscribe and engage with the video. I want to keep making Deadlock content because I truly love this game and I want to see it succeed. And I want this channel to act as a resource that you can use to get all your friends into Deadlock. These videos are pretty time consuming and I pay editors fairly, so at the moment all of my revenue from Twitch is going into these videos. I hope I can grow the channel to a point where it's sustainable, and I'd really appreciate the help from all of you. Enough about all that sappy stuff, let's get back to Abrams. To go with the tier 3 charge power spike, good builds will pair alongside a fleetfoot and melee charge for the insane mobility granted by heavy melee cancelling around the map. Adding a 3k weapon item like Hunter's Aura means that you're a hypermobile ganking machine with insane burst. If you're catching someone and there's a teammate nearby, there's no chance of the poor victim surviving. After this, you're not trying to be the highest damage dealer in the game. Focus on maximizing your usefulness in teamfights with specific counter items. Debuff Remover acts as both a counter item and a powerful second wind, purging annoying debuffs like Affliction, Decay, Bleed, Bomb, etc. Gaining HP and temp move speed from the purge allows Abrams to finish off targets or turn the tide of a fight. The passive reduction also acts as pseudo armor for effects such as Afterburn and improves survivability by a significant amount. It also has 20% weapon damage? Why? The armors. Obviously, armors are strong items for a tank. They're going to increase his effective health by 45 or 50%. These, plus the healing effect on his passive, means that Abrams should probably almost always be grabbing some form of armor, as it makes him incredibly frustrating to kill when combined with debuff remover. Knockdown. Super powerful active, interrupts key enemy abilities such as flight abilities for Grey Talon, Vinny D, or Burrow for Mo and Krill, or Dynamo ult that allow for big turnaround in a fight on a decently short cooldown. It's also got a really useful passive in +1 stamina. Curse, a more powerful version of knockdown that removes a character from the fight for around 3 seconds. Should be plenty of time for Abrams to beat up and kill an enemy hero. A great option if you're repeatedly getting destroyed by a singular character in teamfights. Just make sure you time it well. A cooldown of 53 seconds means you're not going to be getting it off twice in a fight. Frenzy is an overall insane item for Abrams with a lot of stats. Significant ammo for a shotgun, you've got bonus health and bullet resist with 2 passives that work together. An upgraded form of Berserker where each stack is giving you plus damage, and a secondary passive of move speed, fire rate, and bullet resistance with below half HP. Making Abrams insanely difficult to kill below half health for heroes reliant on bullet damage. This item single-handedly makes Abrams a pain to kill late game, as nobody expects the almost double damage and resistance, allowing him to survive and shred bloodthirsty enemies. Finally, Colossus. It's your 6,000 soul ticket to becoming unkillable for 7 seconds. It gives almost as much resistance as both upgraded armors, and a movement slow that allows Abrams to catch and keep enemies close. It gives the most health out of any item in the game, and 20% of both melee and weapon damage. The item allows Abrams to almost guaranteed live 7 seconds of damage at will, and the cooldown's actually pretty short, allowing him to potentially absorb damage at the start and end of extended team fights. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you want to see more of these, I'm putting a lot of effort in and consulting with top players, so it'd be great if you could sub, leave a like, do all those things. Deadlock's not dying on my watch, so appreciate it if you guys could support me too. Cheers everybody.